So this video is going to be a very important one because we are going to learn a very important operation in Python, which is slicing. Slicing lets you trim or slice a sequence. For example, if you have a list and you want to extract, say, the 9 digits from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you can do it like this. You write P 3:20:2, and when you run it, you get the answer. What we are doing here is slicing the sequence. This is how slicing works. Initially, you write the starting point. In this case, 3 is the starting point, then 20 is the stopping point, and 2 is the step size. I'll go through that to make it more clear to you, but this is just an overview of how much you can do with this simple operation. So for the basics, if you write something like y equals to x 3 8 1 and print y, you see you get the sliced sequence. One thing to notice is that the index number starts from 0. So this is 0, this is 1, 2 and 3. So if you put the number 3 at the start, you get the sequence starting from 3. However, at the 8th index we have 8. This is the end point. But instead of 8, the reason why we get 7 is because the stop index is up to but excluding the index. And finally, the step size of 2 skips a number in between. So play with it such that you better understand how to slice precisely to achieve the desired results. Anyway, moving on to some shortcuts. The good thing is you don't have to write all 3 numbers. You can simply write 2 colons. For example, if you print this, you get the whole X sequence. Now, if I just put 2 here, you see it skips one number and there is no starting and stopping point because by default the program assumes the starting point is the very beginning and the ending point is at the very end. So you can skip that. You may also skip the step size. For example, if I write the ending point to be 5, it stops there and the step size is by default 1. So that's it. When you are too lazy, you don't have to write all 3 numbers. Python will do that for you. You just have to put the colons. And the funniest thing is that you can skip putting the colons. So if I remove this colon, it still works because even though I remove the colon, the program assumes the step size is 1. If I remove another colon, it just shows 5 because now 5 is no longer the stopping point. It is assuming 5 is the starting point. That's why we have 5. Perhaps this helps you a bit. Therefore, remember that there are default values. Thus, you may skip writing those. More importantly, slicing lets you reverse a sequence. To give you an example, if you set the step size to -1, you see you get the reversed sequence, which is great and it works in the same manner we learned earlier. To illustrate, if you set the step size to -2, again it gives you a reverse sequence while skipping a number in between. You can also use negative values for the start and stopping points. For example, if you want to start at this point, we write 3. And we want to stop right here. So instead of counting from the beginning to the number, you can simply count from the very end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you put -5 and the step size +2 and run it. You see you get the 9 digits extracted from the sequence. Now if you put step size to -2, then you get nothing. The reason why you get nothing here is that it is starting here and ending here, but the step size is negative, so from the start it is going leftward and leftward is already cut down. So what you can do is to switch the starting and end point to get the same result. Hence we start from -6, which is this, and end at +2. So ultimately you are going leftward from this to this. I believe this helps, and this is how you can reverse a sequence, which is very useful in many cases. This thing also works with strings and tuples. For example, if I write a string and use slicing for the string of letters, then yes, it will work, and it will work the same way as we saw with the list. And if you have a tuple where we have an animal name, their sound and their size, so if you do this for a tuple, then you see now we have step size 2. So you only have cat and crow included, dog and cow are not there. If you want to just include the animal name and size without their sound, then you do this again. You can write it like this, y equals to animal, and again we have step size 2 for animal in y. If you now print this, you see we are getting cat and crow without their sound. So it has been sliced twice, in the first dimension and in the second dimension as well. So with that, this is the end of the video, I guess. That's all about slicing in Python, which is very important and very useful. And I hope this was a useful video to you as well. And thanks for watching.